Hi, I am Yia Medina and this is Taste of Puerto Rico. I decided to make pinchos because I think they are underestimated street food from Puerto Rico. One of the first things you're gonna notice is the street food scene. On the side of the road, as you drive by, you can see multiple stands selling different things. Pinchos is one of the most popular ones. I grew up in a small beach town called Isabela. It's on the west side of the island. We will go to these pincho stands all the time. My cousin owned one of them right across the street from our house. Just take a short walk and just gather around the whole family. We would just dance and sing with our congas, our drums, while he will cook in his little barbecue, the pinchos. For our pinchos recipe, we're gonna start with the marinade of the pork. The marinade starts with the most important part. It's the base of Puerto Rican cuisine, which is sofrito. Sofrito has a very particular smell because of the culantro, and you recognize it immediately when you enter to your grandma's house. People might vary ingredients to add their own personal touch. The main ingredients don't change, which is culantro or recao. That is the base of the whole sofrito. You build around it with onions, peppers, garlic, and you just can add your personal touch. Just don't tell your grandmother. Puerto Rican black magic. I love it. One of the ingredients of sazon is achiote, which you can grow outside. It colors your hand red when you grab it. That's like the particular color of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican cuisine is a lot about seasonings. You're gonna taste that strong seasoning in almost all of our dishes. You see how the sazon is turning the pork into that vibrant orange reddish color? That's Puerto Rico right there. In 2017, Hurricane Maria devastated my island and destroyed the place that I worked. So I had no choice but to live the country that I love so much, to look for a better future for my children. Having to live my hometown like many other people before me, I think that causes a unique atmosphere. I made it my mission to take the pieces of my hometown that I love so much, the authentic Puerto Rican food that I ate for so many years, that my children ate, and that my family that is still there eats. And I can recreate what we have in Puerto Rico, which is a community based out of love and food. That was my whole purpose and mission coming into this new country. So here I have some pork that I previously marinated, and what we're gonna do is very simple. Skewers, meat, sheet tray. And you're gonna start. You wanna leave the distance of your hand so that you can have some space to grab them. You can put as many pieces of pork or meat that you want. My only request to make it authentic Puerto Rican pinchos is that you leave a little space at the beginning of your skewer. I'm gonna tell you why later. The fondest memory that I have of pinchos is actually in 1993, my cousin used to have a pincho stand, and we will go there, we will listen to music, play some music, or watch TV. We were watching Miss Universe. That's a big thing in Puerto Rico. And it turns out that Puerto Rico won while I was eating a pincho. That's why I love it so much. It's kind of like a big deal. We had several beauty queens. I think we're on the top 3 right next to Venezuela and Colombia with beauty queens. I was taught from a very young age to love, my island and my country. I learned how to appreciate the things that for some reason I took for granted, like being able to wake up looking at the beach or taking a 5-minute drive to the beach. The Christmas parties that I didn't want to go because of my family, because I was too cool to hang out, now I crave them. I miss Christmases. I miss all of their noises and their singing. So in that sense, I think that I've become fonder. We've been through a lot of, natural disasters when the hurricane happened and people didn't have, energy or cell phones or anything for, months. Your neighbor that you never spoke to, you make sure that you cooked for that neighbor. If you were one of the few lucky enough to have a generator, You will let others like charge their devices or, take a little, AC. You see all of that spirit when we come together in the midst of tragedy. Now we're done to our last piece, so we're gonna take them outside. Remember that I told you to leave the space for your hand and then the little space at the beginning? It's because in Puerto Rico, whenever you go to a street stand and get pinchos, the final product is topped with a piece of bread. Puerto Rico, we call it pan de agua. That's the real way we eat pinchos in Puerto Rico. If it doesn't have the bread, don't accept it. Truth is that in Puerto Rico, most people don't have a grill, so they do their own little like rustic grill with bricks. The flavor of the charcoal is something that is gonna, permeate in the meat, and it's a totally different flavor profile. For the bread, you just wanna give it like a quick minute. You really want the grill marks in it, because that's what makes it sexy. Yeah, that's what you want. And it does remind me of home. Like the smells, the color. This is exactly what you want it to look like. Puerto Rico, we put barbecue sauce in our pinchos. You want to put the sauce when you turn them, not at the beginning, because it will burn. These are ready to go. You want to make sure, if you have access to a thermometer, that the temperature inside of the pork reaches at least 145 degrees. That is when it's safe to consume pork. Here we go. This is what you want. This is your pincho. We're gonna finish this up with some barbecue sauce. That's what the bread is for. That is the secret. You get the bread, eat the pincho, and then dip the bread in the barbecue sauce. So yeah. Now the only thing left to do is to try it. Just delicious, the way you want them. It tastes just like home.